y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayana, and today I'm going to be using a different size 100% mer-size cotton thread. Yes. And this is not a tutorial, y'all. This is just me trying out different threads to find the best method or way to make waist beads. Right, so, and don't forget to subscribe and make sure that y'all shop my waist beads at pt.3. If you are a beginner, I do have a beginner's kit. It includes the cotton thread, the elastic cord, and all the materials that you'll need to make either permanent or elastic waist beads. Alright, so let's get started. So to begin, we're going to need cotton thread. So I have two different sizes. Shoot, I can't remember what size. I believe that this one was a size 10, and this one was a size 20. I'm not 100% sure, but this one is way thinner, like it's way finer than this thread. And this thread right here, it wouldn't fit through any of my beads. Like, to make a waist bead, I think I could only use like 2 strands or something like that, and I just didn't want to do that. So maybe if I get bigger beads, then I probably can use those. These are the size if I use really big beads. But today I'm going to be working with this one, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this is a size 20. I'm not 100% sure, and I honestly can't remember the brand of it, but I'm going to find it and I'm going to post it. I believe it was by Aunt Lydias, and this was actually a recommendation from the comments. And this thread was only like $3. Like, it wasn't expensive at all. It had a bunch of different sizes, a bunch of different colors, and I found this next to the yarn. It was near the yarn section. So it is still 100% mer-size cotton thread, which I use now and which I highly recommend. But I use the Coats and Clark thread, which is a bit thinner than this also, just a tad bit thinner. But I know a couple of y'all was asking for a thicker thread and still being 100% mer-size cotton, and here it is. So we're just going to give this a try. I'm all starting to make them. Oh yeah, so we're just going to give this a try, and I'm going to let y'all know how it go. And if you want to try it for yourself, I picked this up from Joann's. So yeah. Alright, and then we want to make sure that we have our cotton thread, that we have our scissors, our measuring tape, and then beads, and our beading needle. The best beading needle to use would be the collapsed eye or the big eye beading needle, because you don't have to worry about sticking each individual strand through the hole. You know, those little needles. You don't have to do that. These ones are better, and the good thing about these needles are that they bend. They are very flexy, so that comes in handy when you're beading, when you're making waist beads. Now my beads, y'all, I'm not gonna keep. These are some beads I ordered from jewelrysupply.com, and they came messed up. Like, if y'all can see that, they came like with this powder. I don't know what. They look dirty to me. I don't know. So, but I'm going to use these to make these waist beads, because since I'm just testing them out, I don't want to keep using my real beads. And I'm just going to be cutting them off anyway. Or, you know, or waiting for them to pop. These beads, ew, they just look so nasty. And don't get me wrong, I love the jewelrysupply.com. I never really had, this was my only bad order that I got from them. And it was literally just this one color. Like, this was like a bulk order, and the entire order was cool, but this specific color, like every single one came messed up. It's like this like powder texture on it. They just look so dirty, and I ordered so many of them. Yeah, well, I don't know. I might wash these before I put them on. I might wash it before I put them on, because for some reason, y'all, this is probably a really, really weird thing about me, but for some reason, when I feel certain textures, like whether it's like a real stiff shirt or real stiff sweater, or like just certain textures that I feel like I'm suffocating. And that's how these beads make me feel. They make me feel like I'm suffocating just looking at them. It's so weird. I don't know. but I be feeling like I'm suffocating. Like I literally have to take a breath. It's so weird, but all right, let's get started. So we're gonna go ahead and measure these out. I typically just make my waist beads about 60 inches long. That's where I cut my thread at. So that's what I'm gonna do now, because I find when I have extra string on there, because I start my beads at 50 inches, but when I have a lot of extra string on there, they get them room to tie, and you know, they don't have the problem. It kind of gets annoying when you like overfill the strings and they don't have room to tie because there's so many beads on the string, or the string is not enough extra string, right? That makes sense. So I make sure I get them a lot of extra string. But this right here, I don't know, I actually kind of like this cotton thread, to be honest. I just want to see how adorable it is. And I'm not sure exactly how many strands to use. Those beads are a bit bigger, so I'm probably going to try about like 5 strands to see how they work. And I actually think like 2 people recommended this string. One was a different brand though, but they both were the same thing. Alright, so this is 5 strands, and I like how thick it looks, like how full the strings look and stuff, because this is literally the look that we all be going for with our permanents, right? Alright, and so yeah, y'all know how to make the anchor from watching my previous video, but I'm just going to tell y'all anyway. I put them all the strings together, and I just keep tying a knot over top of the same knot, so that their knot could be bigger, like it'll be just a real big knot, and it's to hold my beads from sliding off. Okay, and to be honest, when you another thing is, when you fill the bead hole properly with the strings, you really won't have to worry about them sliding off, because they won't slide off as easily as if the bead hole was not being filled, right? So that's just another thing that you could keep in mind. We're going to take our needle and put it inside. And remember, this is not a tutorial, so I know I be talking like it's a tutorial, but it's really not. So let me just say, I'm going to take my needle, my beading needle, and I'm going to put my strings inside the hole, clamp them drums back there, everybody get to beading. I hope these fit through there. Let's just test this out first. Okay, cool. So yeah, 5 strings were good for this, and I probably could have added like 1 more string just to like fill that bead hole all the way up. These beads look so nasty. I'm sorry, they just look, I don't even know if I want to put this one. Like, where's the glossiness? I just want to know what happened that these beads look like this. Like, what did they forget to do? Because they feel so nasty. I think I'm going to use these beads too. I don't know if I want to mix those beads with these beads. But I had like some extra glow in the dark beads from one of my waist beads, and I was going to put them on there. I might still do it. I don't know. But these beads just look like trash. They just so nasty looking. They feel nasty. Sorry, I don't need to explain it, because I could easily just change it. So let me start cooking. Y'all know what I got a taste for? Some really good Chinese food. Like, I just want some really good Chinese food in a bottle of wine to call it a night. But I don't know where to get no good Chinese food from. Like, I want some really good, and I don't eat like all of the chicken and all that stuff from here. I only eat rice and broccoli and fried chicken. I don't eat like chicken and broccoli, General Tso's chicken. Rice and broccoli with the garlic sauce, that's my order. And four wings, fried hard with salt and pepper. That's my exact order. I'm just making a mess right now. Alright, so I didn't start making my pattern yet, because this is another tip. When you are making your waist beads, you don't really want to start your pattern too early, because remember, you are going to be cutting off a lot of excess beads. So like, you start your pattern down here, you gonna cut that off and you ain't gonna never even see it when you're listening. It won't be any way. So what I do is I like thread mine a little bit up, and then I start my pattern, and then I stop it at a certain point too. So I basically do my patterns in the middle of my waist beads compared to like all over, or sometimes they be all over. It just depends, but that's convenient. This might actually be my fault, but the string is breaking because of the needle. So it's good that I did put some extra length on there, so I couldn't just move it down. But I know that this is my fault because I should have been moving my needle around because I was pulling kind of hard. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut all of these even because I ain't got time to be playing with this thing. This is what I have my trash can for. Comes in handy. I really think it's a pencil case from Dollar Tree, but it's a trash can to me. Alright, so I'm ready to stop this, like, because let me see if they gonna fit. Nope. Not for where I want them to be at anyway. They'll fit up here, I'm sure. Yeah. But I want mine to lay down here. So I gotta go just a tad bit more. But I would suggest though, if you had this string and like your beads are kind of messed up, I would suggest putting when you thread it, like instead of doing it all the way down here, like putting the needle all the way down here, place your needle up here, so that way if your string was to get kind of messed up, then when you go to make your anchor and they go to, like, when you go to make your anchor, it won't pop, and when they tie them on, it won't pop also, because they'll have to like pull, like give it a little pull in order to put them on. I would definitely suggest placing your needle higher. Alright, so now you'll see I have my pattern in the middle, so when I tie it, you know, this is gonna be in the front. My pattern is gonna be in the front. Alright, so I can go ahead and take this needle off. Remember, I'm practicing putting my needle back because I keep losing them. Okay. So now I'm gonna just make my anchor. Then remember, that's just tying the knot. Tie it again. Tie it again. Then that should be big enough to keep it. Now I know some people, somebody told me that they were having a problem like not getting their beads even. Y'all can literally just move them down. They move on a string. And unless you're like a bad, like if you have like, if you're like what is that? What would they be, like OCD or something? They don't need to be even. They don't. So what I do is I always push mine down, whether they come out even or they don't. I just continue to push them down because I want to make sure that I eliminate all the spacing that's inside the beads for when I go to tie them on. Okay, and I'm going to show y'all me tying them on. Finished waist beads. And you see I have my anchors at the top. Slide that bead down. These are my anchors, the big knots. And then this is the cotton thread. And these are my beads. I'm not sure if y'all can tell that they are messed up from the camera, because I can't really see, and they kind of look really radiant to me on camera from what I can see. But these beads are trash. They are literally trash. These ones glow in the dark. I have these available on my site, but other than that, yeah, they are dusty. I'm gonna go ahead and tie these on, and that's just placing the waist beads around my waist and bringing the 2 strands up front. You want to put them where you want them to lay it. Y'all know usually I tie my waist beads up here, but this time I want to try tying them down here. And because of my love handles, it'd be kind of hard to get them to sit right on my waist. I really want them to sit on this part so it can help suck that in. But these ones, I want them to actually sit on my waist though. Like, these ones look like they're sitting on my waist already, but promise, as soon as I'm bloated, they go all the way up here. So they don't count. I want something that stays on my waist. Alright, so basically what I'm doing is I just take this and I'm going to cross it, slide my beads, some of my beads out the way so I can make sure I got them right where I needed to be at. And what I like to do is I like to hold it where I was and then just watch where they fall at. And if that's where I wanted to be at, that's fine. So that is where I wanted to be at. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my first knot. So that's just putting them together like that, right? I'm going to make sure there is no spacing. And as you can see, there is absolutely no spacing. Up there, I just let it loose a little bit. There's no spacing. So we go to make this first knot. When you first tie it, it might seem like it got a little loose. When you actually make that initial knot, you can pull it. You are able to pull it a little bit tighter just to close that spacing. So, alright, so this is before we make the initial knot. I still have my finger here holding it. I'm just going to go ahead and go around. I'm not letting go of any of these strings. I'm holding them pretty tight. And then I still have my finger there. I'm going to start to close down. Close it, if that makes sense. And I'm going to slowly move my finger out the way. But without, I'm going to have to do this really fast because I don't want no spacing. See? And then again, I can just tug it a little bit to make sure all that spacing is going, which it is. And then I can make another knot. I'm not sure if I'm going to tie these the same way I tie mine. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try that burning method for y'all, because a couple people asked me about that. And somebody told me that they burn theirs. So I'm going to try that. Let's see how that works. Okay. I'm a little scared, but alright. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut these anchors off. So what we do is, right, you want to make sure you cut right above the anchor. So we're going to push our beads back. We're not going to cut our beads off. We're going to push our beads back. And we're going to cut above the anchor. So that's literally cutting above this. Cutting these 2 dots off. Cutting those 2 off. See? I cut right above that. Now I can place it over top of my beading container. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and do my surgeon knot just so I can secure that knot. And a surgeon's knot is basically taking 2 strings from each side. Remember, we did use 5 strings, so you should be able to separate 2 strands from each side. And when you do that, you're going to take this in just like a regular knot, but instead of pulling, you're not going to pull yet, you're going to go under again. And then you'll pull. And then I'm going to make one more time. And that should be good. And then now I'm going to cut this excess string off. I want to cut it about let's just cut it about maybe like an inch or so away, because I am about to try this burning method. So yeah. And then what I do is I tuck in mine, and I'm not going to lie, these do feel pretty solid. They feel pretty good. We just have to test them out. We're getting in the shower and stuff. Well, okay, so let's try this burning method. I'm not sure exactly how you do it. I never saw anybody do it. Nobody ever told me. But I'm going to do it how I think it's supposed to be done. I don't know. Let me try burn this first, because I don't know how this cotton can really burn. So let me try burn one of the knots first. Okay. So it don't burn. They don't catch on fire, so that's good. Alright, so let's go. Where am I? I don't know if I'm burning a knot or if I'm burning the strings. I think it makes sense to burn the knot, right? Oh. Y'all got me doing dumb shit. Yo, almost caught on fire. Alright, I don't know what that's gonna help or what's that gonna do, but we're gonna leave that alone. I'm not doing that no more. No, no. That was scary. I probably did it wrong too, but oh well. So y'all see my little design I got, and they gonna lay right there. Yep. Alright, so thank you so much for tuning into my video. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you liked it. Make sure you leave me a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so until next time.